Alright, so now one way you can avoid there what kind of happened, what I probably should have done is, I don't know, maybe a little bit faster. I could have grabbed maybe these first troops that were right here in Soria and shot them down there really quick, anticipating that that was going to happen. But that you don't always have that happen, so, Okay, a revolt has broke out in Soria. And that's where my guy was collecting taxes at. So here's what we got to do about that real quick. Let's take our marshal and recall him and suppress revolts there if we can. Let's take the steward and have him, I can't stop him yet. And we may get in trouble here because they're revolting pretty good. And they have more than I do, so I may have to split some groups off here. So if I gotta split groups off of the army like this is a good to show you, I guess, is you can click on your main army, and I can do new units like I showed you before, and then we can send a group. Actually, you know what, in this situation, instead what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and just hire a mercenary group. Let's stick them down there real quick for a couple turns. So we'll just hire these guys. So we got 1,500 troops, and we'll send them in there to squash that rebellion real quick. That way I don't have to slow down on this over here. Yeah, defeat for a second, but it's not gonna last. Okay, now in this interface down here, what you're looking at, I'll show you real quick. This is showing the attackers. You can see I have 1192 here, and this is the defenders. Now, the first part of the defense is the county, the capital, which is this screen right here. So what you're basically trying to do is you're trying to take out their capital. You'll see this bar go down as you're working through them. They had another failed defense, and there'll be a couple stages of what's going on. Once you kind of conquer and you're occupying the area, you're going to see like dashed lines come over this area. One of my daughters is afraid of the dark. She's whatever. I'm not really craven trait. Okay, whatever. So we will see it change to the dotted lines. There it goes right there. See how it does the dotted lines? What that basically means is that means you've occupied this county. So you are in control of this area. However, the battle's not over. Now you have to go and siege the actual cities and areas that are within that place. So if you notice right here in this window over here, I have this zone selected. Now it says Siege of Gandia. Well, if you hover right here, City of Gandia, that's what we're trying to siege now. We've already taken basically the county itself. Now we're sieging the city, and then after that it's going to be sieging their mosque or whatever this is right here. So you're going to see this bar drop down one more time here. And see they're doing the same over here. So this war won't last a whole lot longer here. So we got victory there. Okay, so we've defeated the city, so now, see it says Siege of Zactiva, which now we're sieging this. Once we siege this, the bars are going to turn solid, and then we have it. That'll be it. As far as like things like reinforcements and stuff, the way that works is they just auto start reinforcing in the areas and filling up. Okay, it looks like we squashed our rebellion up here, it looks like. Okay. I think that's my mother has gotten typhoid fever, it looks like. Let's move this guy over here, and we can go ahead and dismiss the mercenaries, I think, for right now, so we don't got to pay for them anymore. So we can go in here and hired right here. You can see I'm paying $5.95 a month for these dudes. You can go ahead and just do dismiss. We don't really need them anymore. I don't need to pay for that anymore because our money is running out quickly. And I need to get the steward, recall him out of that zone, and have him go get taxes somewhere else for right now. And revolt risk is 0. Okay, we're good there. Alright, so let's continue. Victory. Boom, now it's solid lines. So that means, if you notice now when I click on it, there's no more battle going on or anything. We occupy all areas. And if you hover, look at the float over on the right, the hover box, you can see the Valencia is occupied, Gandia is occupied, Exivda occupied. I have all of them. If you look over here, he's already settled with him and taken that. So they already ninja'd that one away. Now what I can do is I can go ahead and negotiate with him at this point by clicking down here, offer peace. I have the war scores already at 100%. Okay, look at this. This is not to sidetrack, but my chaplain here has been working on converting them to Catholic, and he's done it. He says that he's converted them to Catholic. I gained 15 piety for him doing that, and the Pope is happy about that as well. So I get 10, reputation basically with him. So now if I click over here, they're going to be a Catholic area, and eventually they'll be able to start pulling troops and more money out of there and everything. Anyway, I'm going to enforce demands for him to surrender. He did. It's over. I get 50 prestige for winning the war, and I gain all those unoccupied holdings from there. So now when we go out here and look, boom, we now have this area. Kind of sucks that we didn't get this one because old boy had to jump in there and ninja it. I kind of saw that coming, but meh, it just wasn't quick enough to stop it. Now the biggest thing is right after you're done with the war, one thing you want to make sure you do is you want to dismiss your troops right away. So as soon as the war is over, open your military screen because they don't want to pay this money anymore, and you can click these red buttons right here. So dismiss, dismiss. Boom, all the troops are gone. Now one thing you might want to do when you get a new nation like this, one more tip here for you is Valencia. We just took this area. You'll notice right here the revolt risk is 10%. Good thing to do with that is, guess what? Take your marshal and do suppress revolts down here. And since we've already converted over here, we want our chaplain now to recall him and now have him go here and start working on converting them to Catholic. So if we click on the area now, we can see there's a 0.00% revolt risk. So now the chaplain can work while the marshal stands around and looks mean at everybody. Now another thing real quick, and I'm not going to go through all this, is if you notice here up at the top, I'm over my demence size now. I have too many, so I need to hand some stuff out, which I'll probably just hand them over to my eldest son or something at this point. But we can see that we took that over. Our money should start recouping here over a few turns. We need to fix the demence areas. We have our priest working on converting them to the Catholic, and then we can, if we want to, we can wait till our money builds back up, and then we can keep pushing through these areas here. Now, eventually, I want to go back to war with Leon, but I can't do that right away because there's like a 10-year peace after you have a war with somebody. So if I go to Leon and look here, declare war, you can read right here. If I try to go to war with him before 10 June of 1091, so that's like 8 years from now, I'm going to get a major prestige hit, and all the other Christian rulers are going to be pissed at me. So I'm going to wait until 1091. Probably what my strategy would be is I would keep trying to take a few more of these Sunni states if I can. And then when it gets to 1091, I'm going to declare war on my brother in Leon again, probably for Molina right here, because I can do Ducal claim on Molina. I can Ducal claim all 3 of these areas. So I may just start popping through them every 10 years. Eventually I'll get all of these, and then, who knows, go from there. Eventually maybe I get a claim to go to war with him, over something else. So that would kind of be my strategy at this point. These Aragon guys are going to be pissing me off at some point too. So real quick before I stop the video, let me look on my list and make sure if there was any other items. We talked about dismissing, merging. One thing on the Ducal claims, though, is if I was to go to war with Leon, like when I went to war with him over this Ducal claim here, I actually beat him into submission. I actually occupied this area and probably, I think, all three of these areas before he finally surrendered. But when he surrendered, I didn't get to take all of these areas. I only got to take what was at the center of the dispute. So again, if in 10 years I do a Ducal claim on Molina, go to war with him, even if I take Molina and say 6 more county areas here, when he surrenders, 9 times out of 10, the only thing I'm going to get is Molina. He's going to take the rest back. So that's just how it works with the Christian, wars like that. When you're going to war, though, against, infidels, you take everything. So you go down here and you just take everything from them. They don't get to keep anything. So it's a little bit different in how that works. So that's one thing to be aware of. And I think that really covers a large part of what we were talking about. Oh, I think the one thing I might have skipped over and didn't hit was the reinforcements. Basically, the way reinforcements work when I was down here fighting is you could go back to your areas, or you could actually, the easiest way was to go back to the military screen, and you would see your reinforcements right here, the center number, the unraised. When I took all those troops at the beginning, they went to 0, the unraised. Well, they slowly start building back up. And then what would eventually happen is while I was down here fighting, if I said, man, I need to get some more troops, I could have came up here and clicked this, and there might have been, like, say, 150 troops right here on this number. I could have raised them again, grabbed them, and marched them down there. So that's kind of how the reinforcement deal works. And I think that really covers most of the war stuff. As you can see, I got a good foothold going here. I've over doubled my realm. There's some more opportunities down here with some of these Sunni states, and then eventually what's going to happen here is in about another 40 years or so, things are going to start getting real sticky between me and my brothers, and also with these guys over here. So that's then when it's going to really start getting interesting. I mean, eventually France might start pushing into these guys, so it may just be me and my brothers duking it out. So it'll start definitely getting real interesting here soon. But I think that covers most of the war stuff. If anyone has any specific questions, you can leave them at the bottom on the video. Maybe I'll try to do a short follow-up video after this one when I discover all the things that I wanted to mention but forgot. But anyway, that should be it for this tutorial series. Thanks for watching. The next thing you'll see coming from me will be a actual full Let's Play. And I don't know who I'll be doing the Let's Play with, but I'll be starting from scratch, and everyone, definitely look forward to that. And that'll be coming up real soon within the next day. Probably by tomorrow I'll probably start it. So anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching.